LinkedIn, we are on here. Let's go, baby. Let's bring the boom.
He challenged me. He said, you should meet 2 or 3 people every day.
We're talking about how to level up on LinkedIn and engagement, being the go-giver, the idea that being open to opportunities.
We all deal with challenges, but how do you overcome that?
Master Connector with Steve Spiro and Cameron Toth is live on air.
Oh, man, I'm excited to you. I'm coming to you live from Boston, Massachusetts. Fun fact, I was actually born in Boston, Massachusetts, grew up in New York City, grew up in between New York City and California, and make my home in Westchester, Connecticut. Westchester, New York. New York, and that's where I usually broadcast, but I'm actually on a trip with the family. And so in today's episode, Finding Your Hidden Edge, we are excited. Make sure you get into the comments. Let us know where you are from, where you're tuning in from. If it's someplace different like I am today, we definitely want to hear that. I am going to bow out and spend some time with the family today, but I wanted to introduce you to 2 people. One person that you know and love as a part of the Master Connector show, my man, the host of the show, Steve Spiro. And then we have Joseph Gonzalez bringing the boom, taking my spot, the co-host position today, and bringing the excitement, and our guest, Jeff Wickersham. So here we go. I'm going to throw it over to Steve, who's going to do our monologue piece of it and get you started in today's topic. Steve, take it away.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, friends? Steve Spiro, the Master Connector, coming at you live and direct. So how do you find your hidden edge? It could be both an exciting and a daunting task, obviously. And perhaps it requires some self-evaluation, analysis, sorry, I'm trying to get that word right, of your current strengths and weaknesses. You think outside of the box and look for ways to develop your unique skills in order to find that unique niche that sets you apart, right? Your hidden edge may be something that comes naturally to you or even without much effort. Or it could take some considerable effort to research and to uncover. The first step towards finding your edge is to focus on what really drives and motivates you. Simon Sinek, your why, right? Start with why. Think about what sets you apart from peers and rivals, and pay attention to the things that excite you. All right. And once you've identified that and what sets you apart, now go further and refine and polish them so that you can use them to your advantage. Right. And for me, my edge is I'm relentless. I never give up. It's just my nature. That's who I am. I have no quit bone in my body. So today's show, perhaps, will start you on that journey to find your hidden edge. So if you're ready for some introductions, I'm going to have my man Cameron do this. So I want you to type in dedication to my man, Mr. Joseph Gonzalez, I want you to type in #boom, and Cameron's going to bring Joe to the stage. So Cameron, I'll turn it over to you, sir. Thank you again for even being here, even though I know you're with the family. We appreciate you big time, sir.
Oh, my pleasure. Let's talk about Joseph Gonzalez bringing the boom here. Joseph Gonzalez is the founder and CEO of In the Game Group, LLC. Joseph has been in corporate America for most of his career while holding several high-level positions. Joseph is a certified Colby consultant. Joseph currently works with organizations to optimize and align high-performing teams. Joseph is known by his peers as the leader in championing culture change and bringing about a positive and energetic style of leadership. Boom! Joseph has brought about change in several organizations with his wisdom and strategic approach to better the workforce. Joseph's strategic approach has transitioned underperforming organizations into top performers within their sector. Joseph has served on several boards throughout his careers, most recently on the Medical Transportation Management MTM Training Advisory Board, and currently serves as Director at Large on the FSA, which stands for Florida Speakers Association Board of Directors. He is going to be bringing the boom. He's going to introduce us to our main guest today, Jeff Wickersham. Joseph, you ready to bring the boom over there, my friend?
I'm born ready to bring it, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to bring the boom. And, you know, very rarely, Cameron, first and foremost, thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Steve, for having me as your co-host. You don't know how this feels. You think energy is something? What we're going to show today with my buddy Jeff over here is amazing. I don't say this a lot, but I think this time, this show here has shown me that there might be somebody out there with more energy than me. And if you guys ever know Jeff Wickersham, dude, this guy's for real. Let me bring him in a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Jeff Wickersham is a sought-after mental toughness and peak performance coach who helps guide clients to intentionally step into the best version of themselves and unlock that inner hero waiting to be unleashed. Jeff's a #1 best-selling author, Tony Robbins Award winner. That's way out there. Podcast host, speaker, and creator of the 4-step morning fire methodology. He recently completed his second David Goggins 4x4 by 48-mile run. Wow, that's amazing. Has meditated for 1,753 straight days and taken an ice bath or cold shower 1,408 straight days. If you have that itch that you can be more, do more, want more, Jeff can get you there. And no later, this is Jeff. Let's bring it in, Jeff. You have a ton of energy. Great to have you on the show.
Boom, let's go.
Good stuff. That's great. It's exciting, man. And yeah, listen, unbelievable. Thank you, Joseph, for being on with us here. Jeff, it's a blessing to see you again. So I know I was fortunate to be on your show with you, and I'm glad to have you on ours. It's a blessing. And Joseph, you being a veteran of our show, we've had a few times here, and we appreciate you. We appreciate the end. So it's going to be an incredible show. So we want to start with that first. And by the way, make sure you're in the comments. We have a community, so get in the comments. Connect with each other, communicate. We're not LinkedIn lurkers, right? We're LinkedIn participants. We want to get in there and we want to kind of, participate and connect with people. This is the Master Connector Show. And it's not just me being a Master Connector. We're all connectors, okay? So we want you to get in there and connect. So type the word #challenge. And we'll get the first question. I'm going to tag team with Joseph here in terms of questions and conversation, not really kind of a monologue or a question and answer thing, but that just to kind of get things going. Now, so we all strive, Jeffrey. I keep saying Jeffrey. I'm going to go with Jeff. Jeff, we all strive to be consistent, right? But you've meditated for over 1,700 straight days and taken an ice bath or cold shower for 1,400 straight days. How have you stayed consistent? Tell us a little bit about that, if you wouldn't mind, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Steve and Joseph and Cameron. Thanks for having me. I have a standard, right, that I live by, and standards are so important. And that's a standard I have. And I've told my wife that even if I'm incapacitated in the hospital, you better throw those earbuds on and let me meditate for 10 minutes, because it's a foundational thing that I do to get set to attack each day. And I love to talk about the bookends, right? How do you control that last 30 minutes at the end of the day? That first 30 minutes in the morning. You do that, you can have some semblance of control in this crazy world. So I have a standard that I meditate every single day. I move the body, I drink a glass of water, and then I get in the cold. Why? Because it's a mental rep, right? My mind many times says, what the heck are you doing? But it's a powerful practice to say, you know what? Go sit in the corner. I'm going forward with you or without you. And you practice a mental rep of getting in the cold and exposing you to some chilly temperatures. So the standard is so important. If you have a standard, then that means no matter what, you are doing it each and every day. And so many people kind of play one foot on the island, one foot in the boat. No, burn the boats, go all in, have a standard. It will profoundly change your life.
And Jeff, I love that you mentioned that huge word, standard. If I've met so many people that are underperforming because they have never set themselves up what we consider higher standards. They've let their standards fall down, and then they fulfilled that lower standard level, and then they become comfortable and fearful. of that raising the bar once again. And to me, standards is essential in anything that you do. And for you, when did you first realize that your standards must be raised and must continue? At what age? Or is that something that you've had all your life?
No, it definitely hasn't been. It was when I left corporate America. Unfortunately, a little over 8 years ago, I had my mom pass from breast cancer. When, watch the woman that brought you into this world literally leave this world, right. It profoundly changes you, right? The 2x4 of fragility of life smacked me in the head. And I get goosebumps and teary-eyed just talking about it now because it's still a deep searing pain. But I knew I needed to make a change. I knew I had more in the tank. I knew I had that hidden edge like Steve had alluded to.
Right.
And I raised my game, and it's a constant iterative process. And I got to a point where I wanted to be better right. Husband, be a better father, be a better human being.
That's right.
And by doing that, I define my identity every single day. And so many times we rely on our feelings because we're taught at a young age, well, how do you feel? And mom or dad says, and you say to mom or dad, oh, I'm not feeling well. So you don't take action. If you define your identity, have standards every single day, like I define myself physically as a world-class athlete. Do you think I take days off at the gym if I'm a world-class athlete? Heck no.
Absolutely not.
It's an iterative process, and it's just happened in the last 6 or 7 years. And it's just now, how do I level up, or how do I get a little bit better today than I was yesterday?
That is amazing, Jeff. And I love your story.
Yeah, I just got to say, I had tons of respect, Jeff. And, I love the commitment. And, I know you mentioned you're doing the 4x4x48 Goggins challenge. And I happen to be in the deep in the second listen to his book, You Can't Hurt Me book. And just impressive. I mean, I know the show is not about David Goggins, but I love when I come across people like him, like you, like Cameron, that have the kind of discipline to just keep persevering through and not let that mental weakness, affect us, but just keep fighting through the stuff that kind of makes us champions. And I love that. Kudos to them.
And, and I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of that, Steve.
Sure. So we're going to move to the next question here.
Okay. Hashtag. Everybody talks about their why. Everybody talks about their why. Put hashtag why in the comments. And I have a question for you, Jeff. Why do you believe that everyone has an edge that needs to be uncovered? If you can answer that, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, that's a great question, because I found it in myself.
Yeah.
Right? I found it in myself. I had layers of beliefs on top of me, layers of what were programmed in society on top of me. And all of a sudden, I cracked a little piece off and I saw the gold underneath.
That's right.
And now I'm on this never-ending quest to be the best version of myself, to help guide my 2 sons to be the best version of themselves, to surpass me, to blow me away, to help others do that. Because when you step in to your identity, to your potential, when you close that gap, that's where happiness, that's where fulfillment, that's where, a never-ending joy and excitement and energy like we have today
that's where personal freedom comes in.
Just starts to just flow through your life force.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you know what? Once you experience that personal freedom to understand that you are your best version every day, life just takes off in directions that you never even imagined.
It so does. And is every day perfect? Absolutely not. It's not. Every day is not perfect. I still battle. We're always going to be battle. We have been lied to that you're going to be on a white sandy beach, crystal blue ocean. You're never going to have to work again. You're never going to battle your demons. It happens to all of us. And we're all unique, amazing human beings.
Yes.
But we all are in the human condition, and we're all battling our demons, our dragons every single day.
You're absolutely correct. Life will never be perfect.
I love what you were saying there. I just got, Jeff, that you mentioned your kids, and I know Joseph has kids, and we were not blessed to have kids, but we have people in our life that we mentor, and some nieces and nephews, and there's right example, influencing and leaving a legacy for future generations. And I think it's so important because you touched on that at the beginning of what you started answering Joseph's question. But that is right. And I love that because, the best example, best way to teach people the best way is really through example, through your personal example, right?
Okay.
You could jaw jack all you want, but
No.
show me. Don't tell me, show me, you know? And influence that you're putting, forward to your kids and the world at large today. It's great stuff. Great job. So
I can
I want
definitely
to kind of dive into the next. Go ahead, Joseph. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the next
Joseph.
question. I want to make sure that Jeff gets everything he wants out of the show.
All
So
right, cool.
hashtag.
So we want to touch on habits. What's that? No, we're going to go to habits first. So habits, we're going to type in hashtag habits. And if community, I would like you to do that for us, please. And so here's what I'm going to say to you, Jeff, right? It seems already like a PMA, positive mental attitude cliche, but tell us why small daily habits to extraordinary results, right? I'd like to hear your perspective on that. There's a great book, Tiny Habits, Atomic Habits, right? It's all, but give us your perspective on that.
Number one, we don't have an awareness of how much of what we do on a daily basis is driven through our habits and rituals. I mean, it could be 95% of what we do every single day is automatic, things that you don't think about. So if we want change, if we want to chase that best version of ourselves, we've got to start with the small, sometimes mundane, simple things that we do on a daily basis. And it's just not looked at enough. That's why people are stuck in this never-ending hamster wheel of life. Groundhog Day, one day becomes a week, month, year, 10 years, and they're still stuck in the same place. It is difficult to change because so much of what we're doing is driven through our habits. 90 to 95% of your day is driven through your habits and rituals. So having an awareness of that is very eye-opening to people, because all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and they go, holy crap, that's why I'm stuck. The things I'm doing, 90 to 95% of what I'm doing every day is already programmed. It's on automated, it's on autopilot. And that's why they're still in that same place.
Yeah, I love that. I want to say this, right? A lot of times people, they talk about needing to have motivation. And I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about the why and motivation. What I've learned is you need enough motivation to get to a point where you can create that habit, right? So you need to be motivated so you can get through whatever the numbers, 21 days, I've heard 41 days, I've heard 60 days, whatever it is that's going to establish that. You need the motivation to get through that period. But once it becomes a habit, I ask people, let me ask you a question, be motivated to brush your teeth? They're like, no. I think, well, somebody motivated your teeth, probably your parents, but you got motivated, but then you got a habit. It became a habit, right? So super important to have the habit, but you need motivation to create that habit. Once it kicks in, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'd also say it's action, right? Like you got to take action, and then you can get some motivation, right? Action develops motivation. So many times we think, well, I need to be motivated. No, just take one step, right? You talked about the Goggins run. There was times, my camera's a little off. There were times when I didn't want to run 4 miles at 3 a.m. in the morning. So what I think about, I said, just take the step out the door and run 3 steps. Once I did that, all of a sudden I was motivated. I was inspired more to do it. So action brings on more motivation.
Because, I've spoken a lot about motivation, and I tell everybody motivation is not the sustainability piece. It's once you start moving, it's being consistent and repetitive action that keeps the motivation going. So the thing is, like you said, just take the first couple steps, and that way you'll get motivated enough to continue moving forward. That was great, Jeff. I like that.
Good stuff. And Jeff, if I'm going to tell you, this is probably not very professional, but can you just make sure your camera's focused? Because it's coming up a little blurry. I'm not sure if it's something's going on. It keeps changing back on you. But we want our audience to that's better now. We want our audience to have an incredible experience here, and they can't experience that amazing smile unless if you're blurred.
Jeff is a beautiful man. We want to appreciate that.
He's got that cool beard, that mountain man beard going in there,
I'm moving around too much.
Good stuff.
All you young folks, man, compared
to
the
boom. You're bringing the boom.
Guys.
All right, Joseph, you go to the next one.
Yeah. Put hashtag tell us in the comments. I want to know, tell us about your morning fire methodology. What is that all about? I'm really looking forward to hearing about this because I consider myself an AM guy, extremely early, 2:30 every morning for the last 30 something years. And when I see what you do, hear what you do, I want to know more about it. So bring me up to speed. Maybe I can live up to your standards.
Yeah, great question. And it's born on a mantra, right? Rise, fight, love, repeat. Mantras, sayings are so important. Rise, that's how you prepare the night before. How are you going to prepare for success in the morning? How are you going to stack wins? So that's getting everything ready. So when you wake up, you don't need to think.
That's right.
If we have to think, the mind gets in the way, right? We want to eliminate all resistance in the process. So prepare the night before to stack wins right in the morning. In the morning, you're waking up, you're getting in the fight portion, drinking a glass of water, a little bit of movement, a little bit of meditation. You're fighting for your physical fitness, your mental fitness. So important. You can stack those 3 wins. That's right. Under 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however you want to make it, however long you want to make it. Then I'm writing notes to my sons. Every single day I write a Post-it note, put it in an envelope, because I say, what better gift to give them than to say, hey, I love you. And I'm sharing a personal development. Maybe it's just good luck in a basketball game. I'm putting it out. It's a token of my love to them every single morning. My youngest son has them all over his door. And then I'm gratitude journaling, reading a little piece of the Bible. I'm stacking 5, 6, 7 wins within 15, 20 minutes. You know what? I feel freaking fantastic at 5:15 in the morning because I've gotten 5, 6, 7 wins, right? And we have this misconception that it's got to be so long. It does not need to be long. You stack wins, you get progress. And the number one rule in the morning is I don't check my phone.
That's right.
You don't check your phone. Don't let negative influences in. So I rise, I fight, I love, send the love to my kids, gratitude journaling. And then I repeat over and over and over again. And that's the secret sauce, right? Consistency, I love to say, is the ultimate force multiplier. You can have energy, effort, time. If you don't have consistency, you're not going to truly get what you want in life.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% because you must be consistent and repetitive, massive action. And sometimes, and Steve, and you guys have lived this, my most important aspect is my pre-fight, getting up to the fight. So I prepare myself pre-fight, so when I get into the fight, I'm ready to fight. I don't wait till the fight shows up to get ready for the fight. I'm ready in advance. Like you said, I'm consistent, I'm repetitive, and that's what I like to hear. When I hear something like that from you, it works me up to get my mind even more clear on what I have to do tomorrow morning. Thank you.
That's awesome. Can I ask a question? Is FIRE an acronym? Is that what that is? FIRE? Is there something to it? F there, I heard an R there. Am I right? No?
It's what about bringing a morning fire, right? So many people are like, I got to wake up. No, I mean, when you wake up, you get a gift that is given to you, right? Like I wear a pink wristband to honor my mother, to keep the pain of losing her close to me. Do you think she'd give anything in the world to have one more day with her grandkids, one more day with her kids? So why not bring some fire? You are blessed with another freaking day.
That's right.
And people are missing out on the fact of how precious life is. And that day, that gift, we should bring fire. We should play all out as if, our hair is on fire and we're sprinting towards a lake. I mean, that's the way life is meant to be lived.
Exactly. All out or nothing at all. Go all out every single day.
I've learned is that your attitude is a decision, right? So you can get up and be fired up. You can get up and you can be depressed and feel down and out. And I was on a call today with someone that I mentor, and he was telling me, and listen, I know he's going through stuff, but I'm like, listen, man, I got to say it to you. You're dealing with first world challenges, right? In other words, people talk about how they're like, having car issues, but you look at somebody in maybe like Zimbabwe or some other third world country in Africa, they don't have a car. Some of them might not even have shoes. And we're complaining about the things that we're dealing with, right? So it's an attitude, it's a perspective. We need to be grateful. I said, let me ask you a question. As part of your morning routine, would you consider putting a gratitude list together? Be grateful for what you have, right? You know, maybe your car isn't a Ferrari, but it's a car, right? And be grateful for the so part of my morning fire, maybe I'll start calling it fire routine, is a gratitude list. I put 3 things I'm grateful for every morning, because again, it's a perspective, it's an attitude, it's a mindset, it's how do you decision. Your attitude is decision. You know, I heard it from one of the mentors. He said, you wake up in the action, wake up, you know, wanting versus just sort of, you know, receiving. I'm the cell phone thing, although I'm very protective about what my receives. So fortunately, I don't get a lot of negative input from my cell phone. I may need to start to take you up on that one, Jeff. But it's great, and I appreciate your perspective for sure. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so we're gonna mention it before, and you've talked about bookend. So I like our community right now hashtag bookend, and we want to hear this, Jeff. Well, you know, why is bookending your? I think I know the answer, but I'd like you to say it in your words and get your perspective. Why is bookending your days the foundation for success? Tell us a little bit about that, sir, if you could.
Absolutely. It's all about control.
That's right.
You want more control in your life. We live in chaos. Life throws us curveballs. We got to jump over hurdles, knock down doors. You control the bookends, that last 30 minutes, first 30 minutes. You have some semblance of control. You have foundation to be able to handle what life is going to throw at you. We know life's going to throw you a heck of a lot. COVID hit. I owned a gym, had to shut it down overnight. I still controlled my bookends.
That's right.
Still getting up at 5 a.m. My kid's wife were sleeping in because they didn't have school the way it was. I wrote my first book during that time. If you have that control, anything is possible, right? You can weather any storm. You can go through difficult times because you have, all right, that last 30 minutes, I'm going to prepare for a great night's sleep. I'm going to have everything out, my glass of water, my workout clothes, my gratitude journal, my notes for my kids. I'm going to have everything ready at night. I'm going to be in the mindset when I wake up, I'm going to attack. I'm going to stack wins in the morning. When you have that control, you feel good about yourself. You take action. Just like I said before, then what do you have? You're a heck of a lot more motivated.
That's
when
right.
you plan for a great night's sleep, you got a great night's sleep. You stacked wins in the morning. So it's all about control. And think about it. We're anxious, more depressed, more stressed than we've ever been in life. I argue you control those bookends, those things go away. I mean, I've had people in my programs that have got off anxiety medication.
That's right.
Let it go away because they're actually planning for success at night and in the morning. And they're not having that worry. They're not having those anxious feelings. So it's some semblance of control in an otherwise chaotic world.
That's right. Reprogramming of the mental approach to life is huge in what we do on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Mentor said, control right? There's a lot of things that you don't have control of, but the beginning and the end of your day, you do have control of. And I know there's some people, right, personality styles, right? If you're looking at the DISC personalities, you know, the C, the control, I have some of that in me. But when you can control that piece, predictable, life is a lot more simple, right? Because when, you know, life throws stuff at you, but you have the ability to do the front and the end, it's amazing. So great perspective, Jeff.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to throw an extra question in because we have a little extra time here. And I'd like to have our type in hashtag edge, EDGE. I'd like to know, and Joseph, you too, right? What is your hidden edge? You know, what if you had to identify it with one thing, what would that one, and I know it's probably hard because you got a bunch, but what would, and Joseph, Jeff, and I shared mine earlier, but what would you say that one hidden edge is that maybe defines you or makes you different than others? And community, feel free to put in the comments what your hidden edge is too. We'd love to hear yours as well, please.
Go ahead, Jeff. You go first, sir.
So it's evolved over time. Energy is a key component, but I would say family. And being able to lead my 2 sons, I've meditated with them before school for the last 3 years. We all sat around the kitchen table January 1st. We set our missions, our musts for the year. My wife was involved. Being able to guide them, give them the strategies, the tools that school didn't teach me. I didn't learn till I was in my 40s. A family connected is such an incredible power, right? And I remember the day after New Year's, my dad came over because I still train him a little bit in our garage gym. And he's like, where's everybody? I said, Carter's at the gym, my youngest son. Jackson's out for a run. And my wife's out at spin class. He's like, holy crap, like what's going on? I'm like, we're on our toes. We're attacking as a family. So my family and leading my two boys specifically to be the best version of themselves is my hidden edge.
Yeah. You know, for me, I'm going to jump in and say I have two good ones, which is faith and family. I know that my life has been put down this path in order so that I can lead my family just like Jeff does, so that they can see through my lens what I want to share with them. What I also gained later on in life as well is my ability to be the most confident individual, humble, respectful, and full of integrity, and show them what it does take to get to that level where they should or can be. If they believe, value, and they create themselves through hard work, integrity, respect, and honor, you can achieve whatever you want. And it comes down to understanding who you are as an individual and living free to be yourself. So that would be
Love
mine.
that. That's great. Yeah, you guys tacked on it. I was thinking, when I was thinking about the hidden edge, I was thinking about kind of characteristics. You guys are talking about more kind of like core values stuff, which is great. I mean, I wasn't thinking that, which is why I love being on and collaborating with people, because you get different perspectives. Speaking of perspectives, Jeff, we had a question from John, John, we appreciate you so much for being on the show with us and always being a loyal John McPhillips. He's asking you, Jeff, what end of day bookend, so maybe describe, what that end of day bookend is, I guess.
Absolutely. Great question, John. Thanks for asking it. Number one, having a digital sunset. When am I turning off electronics? When am I getting away from that? You want to prepare for a great night's sleep? You got to get away from the artificial blue light. 6 p.m., I throw on my glasses, take out the contacts. They got blue light blockers in them. So digital sunset is so key. I'm prepping for the next day, and that's as easy as getting a glass of water ready in a cabinet. People always say, why do you get your water out for the next day? I said, okay, let's go through the resistance game. What happens? You come downstairs, there's not a clean cup. That's the first ability for your mind to say, you know what, Jeff, this morning routine, this morning fire is too difficult. Maybe you go to the dishwasher, your spouse didn't push it in. Another opportunity not to follow through with what you want to do. So preparing the night before, bookending the end of the day, digital sunset, reading before I go to bed, affirmations, and having everything ready, right? And it drives my wife bonkers, but I mean, I can fall asleep in like 10 seconds because I got a clear head, clear mind, and I've played all out in the day. I need that sleep, and I can wake up in power. So great question.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
I heard this phrase recently. When I hit the pillow, my wife, she makes fun of me, but when I hit the pillow, I'm out. I've earned my pillow. When I go to sleep, I've earned it. Like I've given it all, played it all out on the playing field, man. I've definitely earned that pillow. So, but I appreciate that perspective, and I need to step up my game on the bookending. That's for sure. Absolutely. Thank you for that. But yeah, so you have an offer. Maybe tell the community a little bit, Jeff, about your offer, and then also how the best way is for them to reach you as we're kind of coming to the tail end of the show here, sir.
Yeah, I love giving back. So complimentary 20-minute coaching call. We can design your bookends if you want to. We can talk about whatever block might be occurring in your life. And it's amazing how one conversation, and I just want to throw this out to the audience, one conversation can absolutely change your life. And it's just so important to step in and be courageous and have enough courage to have a discussion, but would love to jump on, love giving back. Best way to get in touch with me, you can go out to themorningfire.com. I got a ton of content. I'm out on all socials. Podcast is Your Hidden Edge on all major podcast providers. You want to grab my best-selling book, go out to Amazon, Rise, Fight, Love, Repeat. ignite your morning fire. You'll get the blueprint there.
Awesome. That's great, man.
Love
Great
it. And
information.
Joseph, since you're an amazing asset to the show here, tell the community anything you want to share and maybe best ways to reach you and to work with you, if you would, sir.
3 to 4 of the things that I tell everybody, and I mentioned them a couple minutes ago, is believe in yourself, value yourself, and create or recreate yourself. Never let anybody tell you that you're not worth what you're really worth. Find yourself, live free to be yourself. And you can get me here on LinkedIn. I sleep on LinkedIn 365, 24/7. Joseph Gonzalez at LinkedIn, and I'm the CBO of In the Game Group. It's a consulting coaching firm that really tailors to anybody that wants to level up or elevate their game and their mental approach. So that's what I do.
And check out Joseph's videos. He does these videos. I love his videos. They're always inspiring. I love his boom. You know, he brings in. Sometimes it's in the weight room. He's got the straps on still. Sometimes, and he's got his, the pecs are kind of bulging out of his shirt. And sometimes he's just in his suit outfit like this, but still pecs bulging out. It's awesome. Check out Joe for sure. He's amazing. Joseph Gonzalez, my man. Absolutely. Well, we're going to end the show here. I mean, we can go on and on. This is great. We really brought the boom today. And Jeff, we really appreciate you being on here, sir. You honored us with your presence. Joseph, thank you again for helping me co-host here. Cameron, we appreciate you do, sir. I know he's in the background. Very much appreciate him. He's just an amazing blessing to Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. If you've seen the scene in the Wizard of Oz, the controls do all the magic behind the scenes. But we're going to end out with, countdown with our hands and scream out and punch the screen. Joseph, you're good at that a lot. But
yes,
we're going to have the community countdown in the comments as well. So, Joseph, why don't you do the countdown if you don't mind, sir?
You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crush it. Boom. Bringing it. Way to go.
All right. We are back next week on March 1st. So 103, you're greater than your worst mistake with Brandon Puff. It's going to be an incredible show. Don't miss it. If you enjoyed today, share this out to your community. Share next week's episode out. Make sure you connect with Jeff. Make sure you connect with Joseph. It's going to be amazing. We appreciate you. We are the light of the world. It's time. It's our time to shine. Let's go out there, make a difference. Let's go crush it this week. Love you guys. Have an incredible, incredible day. And we're going to play the video and end the show here.
He challenged me. He said, you should meet 2 or 3 people every day.
We're talking about how to level up on LinkedIn and engagement, being the go-giver, the idea that being open to opportunity.
We all deal with challenges, but how do you overcome them?
Master Connector with Steve Spiro and